Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, and a huge welcome to today's Postgrad Insights session, which will focus today on studying online with the University of Essex Online division. Now, before I take you any further, just a reminder that today's session is a live session. If you have any questions or concerns, please place it in the chat facility or in the Q&A facility on Zoom. If you're watching on social media today, on Facebook or LinkedIn, please use the messenger facility and try to get to your message as soon as possible. If you're watching on demand, email gareth@postgradsolutions.com. But without wasting too much time, I'd like to hand you over to Hayley, who represents University of Essex Online. She'll be taking you through the next 20 to 30 minutes. And then I'll be back for a live Q&A at the end of the session. Hayley, over to you.
So I will introduce you to today's speakers. We have Caroline from Student Services, Luke, who is a Programme Coordinator. We have Anu from Learning Tech and Nikhil from Admissions. And next slide, please. Okay, so today we will be going through a little introduction about Essex Online and what postgraduate degrees are on offer. We'll be running through how you're supported through your studies, how exactly you can study online, and the admissions process to get started. And as we've said, there is a Q&A at the end. Okay, I will pass on to Luke to get started. Thank you.
Yes, as Hayley stated, I'm Luke Johnson, one of the programme coordinators for business. I've been in the academic team for 4 years now, and we're just going to go through a portfolio of the programmes and what we do here at the University of Essex Online. So first, as it states, here you will gain a recognised qualification from the University of Essex, which is in the top 40 of UK universities. Something that we really pride ourselves on is our classroom experience, and this is because we have experienced academics and practitioners that deliver our modules, which really help bring that real world perspective into the classroom. As well as this, all of our programs have a real focus on employability and will equip you with the skills required for careers in your program specific sectors, as well as any related fields. Students also have the opportunity in many of our programs to tailor their course to the interests that they have, with a range of optional modules that we also have. Next slide, please, Gareth. Okay, so at the University of Essex Online, we have an innovative interactive learning platform that Anu will take you through later on, and the platform is available globally 24/7. On top of this, our tutors have a 24-hour turnaround to any student emails during the week, and this is 48 hours turnaround during the weekends. So you can be rest assured that if you're having any academic issues during your module, your queries will be answered quickly. You will also have the opportunity to arrange one-to-one sessions with your tutors throughout your modules. This is in addition to the seminars and Q&A sessions that the module has. This is why we are seen as an extremely flexible online university by our students, as all of our programs are 100% online as well and part-time. You'll never be required to go to the university campus, unless, of course, you do want to attend graduation once you have successfully completed your course. It is a fantastic day full of celebration and joy, and a great opportunity for you to meet with the student support staff, the admission advisors, the academics, and your peers who have all supported you on your journey throughout your studies. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now then, we're going to take a look at the postgraduate programs we provide. Okay, first we have business. Here you can see we have a range of specialist business pathways in management, finance, human resources, business analytics, and digital marketing. Our business programs focus on core topics and contemporary issues in the corporate world, from the need to be flexible, dynamic, and focused as managers in today's business environment, to the challenges that sustainability and the impact that globalization has. The business programs really will instill in you the need for innovative mindsets in today's contemporary business environment. Next, we have the supply chain management and global logistics program. You will go through, in this program, you'll go through every step of a carefully balanced process between procurement of raw materials all the way up to receipt from the final consumer. You will delve into how the sustainability agenda has driven changes in management of supply chains and management decisions, marketing channels, and relationships between trading concerns and transport. Then we have project management. Now, this program is designed to develop your personal and professional skills in areas such as communication, teamwork, leadership, evaluation, and time management, alongside giving you the practical techniques and knowledge of best practices when managing projects of any size. Throughout this program, you will be presented with challenges such as time, cost, and quality, and you'll work on producing the most optimal outcome with those challenges in mind. Next slide, please. Then we have our computing programs. We have computer science, cybersecurity, data science, and artificial intelligence. By studying these kind of subjects, you will develop your problem-solving skills and technical ability, helping you to become a desirable professional capable of succeeding in any organization, as there is an increasing need for individuals with this kind of expertise in these areas. And studying our computing programs will equip you with the knowledge and application needed to proceed and progress in those roles. Then we have education programs. We've got the Master of Education and the MSc in Digital Education. Now, these programs are for teachers, trainers, and tutors from all different backgrounds to reflect on the way they teach and develop their practices in an innovative way, and also look into how technology-based learning can enhance practices today. On both programs, you'll be able to gain insight by interacting with your peers, who will also be fellow educational professionals from across the globe. Then we have our health programs, where you can choose from a wide range of courses, such as we've got the Master of Public Health, we've got the MSc in International Healthcare Management, we've got the MSc in Infection Control, the MSc in Nursing, and the MSc in Global Mental Health and Wellbeing. Now, our health programs give you a chance to delve into this complex and vital field. And in this, you'll be taught by industry leaders, so you can be confident that you're learning from professionals who are well skilled and experienced in their field, which is essential for being successful in this area. Next slide, please. Next, we have criminology and our MSc Criminology and Criminal Psychology program. On this course, you'll be asked questions such as, why does crime happen? How should we deal with offenders? And how do we decide what constitutes as a crime? Here, you'll develop your skills in leading complex criminal investigations, improve your skills in making reasoned arguments and rational decisions, and deepen your understanding of a range of key theories in criminology. Then we have the psychology programs. We've got the MSc in Psychology and the MSc in Organizational Psychology. In these programs, you'll explore why people think and behave the way they do. You will look into fundamental research principles in psychology, critical milestones in human development through infancy all the way up to adulthood. Our psychology programs are also designed for people who may never have studied this discipline before, as you will gain both a solid grounding in the subject as well as practical skills that will enable you to succeed in a wide range of psychology careers. And finally, we have the LLM International Business Law program. And in today's environment, understanding how law works on an international scale for business and commercial interactions is extremely useful for a number of different roles. The course will delve into many legal topics, including transactional contract law, procedures and operations of the World Trade Organization, competition law, and how all of that is implemented at a national and international level. Now, that's the portfolio, but just before I pass you over to Anu, it is important to note that all of our degrees culminate in the completion of a dissertation. where you will conduct independent research into an area of your choice, as long as it's related to your program. By doing this, you'll be able to apply all of your learnings from the course to produce your report. That's it for the portfolio of the PT courses. I will now pass you over to Anu, who will be going through the virtual learning environment.
Good morning to everyone, because it is morning where I am. It's a lovely sunny morning here where I am. As Luke said, my name is Anu. I'm the head of learning technology here at University of Essex Online. And our learning technology team maintains, manages, and develops the learning platform, which I'm going to give you a quick tour of next, concentrating on what a learning module looks like. So I'm just going to share my screen so you can go through this with myself. Right, so our learning platform is the key platform for all of our students. And this is where you'll access all your learning materials, such as study modules and reading lists, but also information about the university policies, study skills support, student welfare, and everything else you need to successfully complete your course or program. Our students also have access to the University of Essex Library and all the reading lists there within. And on the reading lists is where you can find all your set reading, and this is all available online, of course, like everything else in our study materials. So let's have a look at a module, and this is a module from our MSc Psychology program called Human Development over the Lifespan. Now, before I delve into the module a bit further, I'm just going to briefly discuss the structure of our modules. So all our modules are structured in a similar way. So when you complete your 2-week induction, which is also structured in a similar way, you have already learned the navigation. So you don't have to relearn navigation for each new module. So that means the navigation on the platform is really easy, and you will always know where everything is in terms of the learning materials you need access to. So in our modules, we have, first of all, module home, and then some other common course pages. And then we have units. Now, this is a 12-unit module. That means it's 12 weeks, because each unit is 1 learning week. So that makes it really easy to find the content that you need throughout those 12 weeks of study. So going through the module home, then we have an introduction to the module and the learning aims and outcomes for this module. We also have a module announcements on this specific page, which allows the tutor in this module to push notifications to students throughout the module of important things that are happening, deadlines, live sessions, etc. The tutor office section contains information about the tutor who is tutoring the module. And as Luke said, our tutors are really responsive to all students and will reply to emails within 24 hours during the working week and 48 hours over the weekend. So if you have any problems while studying one of our modules, anything to do with academic content, assignments, or the learning content, you know that somebody will be getting back to you really quickly, and you will be able to get on with your studies. The deadline details section contains a table of all the summative components in the modules. And this just means components which are graded and weighted and actually count towards the module grade. So we have a direct link to the specific assignment in the table, and we also have a deadline as well. Now, you might have noticed briefly when I went through the student dashboard that there was a calendar in there. So all the deadlines are also in that calendar. So it's really easy to see via a dashboard when something is due. Modules also have formative activities as well, and the formative and the summative activities vary. So in this module, we have a collaborative learning question, which is a type of discussion. We also have a report and a presentation. But depending on the program you're studying or the module you're studying, it could be a reflective assignment, it could be an essay, you could have a peer review to do, you could have a portfolio, as we have in this one as well. We have a formative portfolio component. You could do a live presentation, you could do a recorded presentation, There's a wide variety of different types of summative and formative assessment in each module. And the summative and the formative assessment is built and constructed in such a way that it will help and guide students to reach the learning outcomes set in that module. Each module has live sessions. In this module, they're called workshops. They could be called seminars or Q&A sessions, but they are live sessions delivered by the tutor. The date and the time are set in this specific table. We do recommend that all students take part in the live sessions where they can, but they are optional, so you don't have to. So if you can't make it, it's not the end of the world, because all the sessions are recorded, so you can always watch back or listen back to that session later on your own time. In the module resources section, we provide a direct link to the module reading list. We also provide access to the grading criteria and a Turnitin sandbox, which allows students to check the similarity scores prior to submitting any assignment to be graded. We also have a student lounge, which allows students to discuss things between themselves in this specific module. I'm just going to quickly show what a reading list looks like. So as I said, each student have access to the University of Essex library. With your University of Essex credentials, once logged in, you'll be able to access each reading item directly from this reading list. You can also tick off the reading that has been done, so you can easily track your progress throughout the module. On top of access to the University of Essex Library, where most of the reading comes from, we also provide a core ebook. Sometimes this core ebook is provided by the University of Essex Library, but most often it's via a platform called VitalSource Bookshelf. The reason why we've chosen this specific platform is because it has a lot of accessibility features. It also has a read aloud function, and the bookshelf has a lot of apps for various mobiles and tablets and even Kindle. So there's lots of opportunity to customize your reading experience. So you can customize the background, for example, you can change the font size, the type of font, and line height, etc. So to suit your preferences. This platform also allows you to highlight content and then share notes with other people and share highlights with other people on your course, should you wish to do that. All the devices you use for reading, all of them are synced across all the devices. So you are able to then, whatever device you're reading on, it will just switch back onto the section that you were in last time. You can also use this to download the book for offline reading as well. So I'm just going to show you what a unit's worth of content looks like. So as I said, each unit is worth 1 week of study. All the units are structured in a similar way as well. I should point out that depending on the program and the module you study, the content of the unit and the learning activities in the units will be different to this one. So this is one example, and not all units in all modules will look identical to this one. So at the top, we have an introduction to the unit, and then we have the unit learning outcomes and aims as well. In this unit, we have a lecture cast at the top, which I will get back to. We also provide the unit reading in each unit as well. So although we have the full reading list with direct links, if you prefer to, for example, exercise your research skills, you can search for the reading directly from the University of Essex Library instead. There may be formative activities. So in this unit, we have a reflective activity about infant emotional development, which essentially requires you to watch some videos relating to this specific topic and consider them in relation to this unit's topic. There's a reminder that there's a workshop, a live session this week, and a direct link to the workshop timetable. And there's a reminder to continue the assignment, which started previous week, the collaborative learning question. The collaborative learning question is a type of discussion, and these are really easy to actually contribute to. All you do is click the button, you type in your subject topic, and then you put in your content into the box, which will be obviously much more thoroughly thought than mine currently. And you post it to the forum, and the forum post appears at the bottom, and you will then be able to view it, and you will be able to edit it for a specific amount of time or reply to that specific topic or that specific post. You can also mark your progress. So when you've completed a specific activity, you can mark that off, and you'll be able to track that progress from your dashboard, as you may have briefly seen before I showed you the module. Finally, I'll just show you quickly what a lecturecast looks like. So a lecturecast is a multimedia presentation, and it is an introduction to that week or fortnight's worth of learning content. And the idea is that it gives you an introduction to the topic, and you will then supplement that learning with the reading that is set for you and the activities that are set for you as well. So in these lecturecasts, we have some activities, we have text, we have images, and there'll also be video components in this as well. And as you can see, when I go through the specific lecturecast, you can see on the left here that it ticks off the sections that I have completed. So it's really easy to see where you are in a lecturecast and track your progress throughout. And I think that's it from me. So I will be handing over to Caroline next.
Thanks so much, Anu. So my name's Caroline. I am a student support manager with the University of Essex Online. And for this section, I'm just going to be talking about the support that's available for you during your studies. So all the way from enrolling on your new course right up until graduation, there are various different support teams that can get in touch with you for various different queries. And I'm just going to be delving into each of those areas in a moment. So just to give you an overview, we do initially have the student support team. We have our study skills team, we have a student welfare team, and we have a student experience team as well. So on the next slide, we're just going to take a closer look at student support specifically. So one thing to note is that students will have a dedicated student support team for their area of study. So for example, if you were studying a business course, you would be supported by a business student support team. And that's really lovely for us because that allows us to be very intimately familiar with the kind of assessments that a business student would be doing, who are the module tutors on that course, what are the common issues faced by business students, and it allows the student support advisors to become experts in providing guidance for those specific programs. The advice that the student support team can provide are pastoral, so we can support you with any sort of extenuating circumstances that you might be experiencing during your studies. If something happens, if you fall ill, if you're worried about a deadline, if you need to take a break from your course, or if you're a bit worried about anything that you've got coming up, you can always contact the student support team in your first instance, and the student support advisors can take a look at all the potential options that might be available to your specific circumstances and make some recommendations on what policies or procedures we might have that might best support you through that difficult time. We can also assist with any minor technical advice. So if you have any difficulty navigating the learning platform that Annie was just taking us through, if that looked a little daunting for you, if perhaps you've not studied online before and you're not too familiar with navigating online platforms, we can absolutely arrange, a support call, or we can give you some kind of demonstration. We can work closely with you just to introduce you to studying online. We can find anything for you that you're struggling to find. We're happy to send you links if there's something in particular that you find it struggling to find on the learning platform. The student support team can just gently guide you in the right place. And if you have any issues logging in, any sort of technical issues, feel free to contact the student support team in the first instance as well, and we can definitely troubleshoot those issues with you. So while the advice that the student support team provides is non-academic, we can also guide you towards our academic colleagues in the academic team. So if you did have a question to do with the module content or your assignment, if you didn't quite understand what was required of you during an assignment, you can contact the student support team in the first instance, and we will signpost you to the appropriate colleague within the department. Unfortunately, we can't help write your assignments for you, but if we don't know the answer to your question, we will certainly know somebody who does. So for our study skills team are experts in academic writing, and they can provide a whole range of advice all the way from referencing. So if you've not used a certain referencing style before, or if perhaps it's been a long time since you've studied and now you're looking to do a postgraduate course, we have plenty of students who are in that exact same boat. So our study skills team are on hand to help you with those referencing queries, provide some extra resources, get those skills brushed up for you. They can also give you some sort of general academic writing tips and academic writing guidance, especially at the kind of level that you might be studying if you are going into postgraduate study for the first time. They can also help you with structuring an assignment. So as you've just seen from the platform demonstration we had there could be quite a variety of different assignments that you might be working on. You could be doing an essay or a dissertation or a discussion forum, or perhaps a presentation, a collaborative learning assessment, lots of different assessment types to keep the course fresh and interesting for you. And if you've not encountered those kind of assessments before, then our study skills team will be on hand to give you some extra guidance and make you feel a bit more comfortable with engaging with those assessments. The team also offer bespoke one-to-one support sessions. So if you have a specific area to do with academic writing that you're perhaps feeling a bit unsure of, or if you perhaps didn't do as well as you wanted in an assignment and want to look at how you can improve on your feedback moving forwards, you can approach our study skills team and arrange a one-to-one session, prepare any questions you might have specifically about your areas of interest or where you want to improve, and they can offer a bespoke session based on your needs. They do also run frequent wider workshops as well. So for example, they can run a thesis writing workshop, which is always very, very popular with our MSc students who are looking to go into their final dissertation module. And the support teams are contactable via phone and email. So there is a dedicated inbox that you can contact both the study skills team and your student support team. You can go through email. We do also have a phone number, and the office is available from 8:30 to 5 p.m. in the UK. Moving on then to our student welfare team. So our student welfare team are responsible for all areas of concern to do with your well-being during your studies, which is a very high priority for us. We do have a dedicated disability support officer. So if we have a student who has a declared disability or a long-term illness or a mental health concern, and you're concerned that that might be impacting your ability to study, you're very welcome to get in touch with our disability support team, and they can take a look at any reasonable adjustments that they might be able to implement into your course just to make it more accessible for you. They can also provide signposting towards any wellbeing or mental health resources if that becomes a concern for you during your studies, or if that's something that you experience as you're entering into your new course. And we do, of course, have dedicated safeguarding officers as well. And then finally, the last team that we have to touch on is the student experience team. So the student experience team work very hard behind the scenes just to enhance that culture of being a student at the University of Essex Online. And they have a really varied role. So one thing that they do is monitor and moderate those social forums. So as you've just seen from Annie's demonstration, there are plenty of opportunities to engage with your fellow students outside of your course, outside of your specific program. If you want to meet people on more of a social basis, we completely understand that some of the concerns when studying online is that you might feel a little bit isolated, but please rest assured there are plenty of spaces held specifically for meeting people and discussing any topics of interest, or just reaching out, making connections, networking on a social basis. And those forums are closely looked after and provided by our student experience team. They also look after our student council. So if you are interested in becoming a student ambassador or a course representative, and you want to speak on behalf of the student body, if that's something that you're interested in, then our student experience team can provide you with some information about that. And they will also be hosting the student council to take on feedback and discuss with our students how we can best support their needs going forwards. There is also an opportunity to provide feedback at the end of every module. So when you are in your final week of each module, a survey will become available, and you're very welcome to leave feedback on what you enjoyed about the module, what you didn't enjoy, what you think you'd like to see done differently at the university in future, any constructive ideas that you might have. We would absolutely love to hear your feedback. And our student experience team do collect the results of those surveys and then put their heads together to see what we can act on and what our students are asking for that we can cater to. They can also provide careers guidance as well. So if you are wondering what to do with your degree from the University of Essex Online, or if you are perhaps currently employed but looking to progress further in your workplace and aren't too sure what avenues you can go down utilising your degree, our student experience team can provide some careers guidance for you there as well, to take a look at the options that might be available to you. And finally, the most exciting thing that they do, of course, is planning our graduation ceremony. So our online students are hosted at a graduation ceremony at the Colchester campus at the University of Essex. There is a summer graduation ceremony that you are invited to attend, and they will do all of the planning for that. So all of the invitations, if you are interested in coming to graduation, but you are currently abroad and have any questions about visas, the student experience team can assist with that as well. So that was just a little bit of an overview of each specific team within sort of the student services at the University of Essex Online. I'm just going to hand you over now to my colleague Nikhil, who will take you through the admissions process.
This is Nikhil, and I work in the admissions team. So good morning to everyone. So admissions process is very easy. So first you submit an inquiry regarding any particular course, then you will be assigned to an admission advisor who will contact you via phone or via email, and it will tell you regarding the course information, the start date, and how to make an application. So once you submitted an application, along with all the relevant documents, it will be reviewed by one of the academic team or admission manager, and once it is successful, you'll receive the outcome of your application within 48 working hours. And after that, we will send you an offer letter along with your payment plan and study plan. After that, all you need to do is just submit your acceptance form and pay the deposit in order for you to be enrolled into the program. Next slide, please. So the academic entry requirement for our postgraduate courses, a student must hold an undergraduate degree, which is equivalent to UK honors degree and a relevant professional qualification. However, we do offer work experience through as well, which has to be around 5-year relevant senior level work experience. If you're an international student, we do request student to hold an IELTS or TOEFL. However, if you do not hold an IELTS test, and if you do not want to take that test, we do offer a free English assessment test, which is called KITE. Next slide, please. So we, as you can see, the full course fee for our MSc is for UK students £12,167, and for international students it's just a slightly bit higher. It's £12,428, and for PG diploma for UK student it's £8,111, and for international £8,285, and the last for PG cert it's £4,056 for UK students and £4,143 for international students. Next slide, please, Gareth. So there are various payment methods we do offer to our students. So if you're a British national and if you're living in the UK, you can apply for student finance. Also, if you hold a pre-settled status or a settled status or hold an ILR, you can also apply for student finance. It depends on the circumstances of a student. If you're an international student, we do offer student two payment option methods. So either you can pay monthly or you can pay full upfront. So if you pay full upfront, you will also receive a 5% discount as well. And if you do wish to pay monthly, there's always your payment plan will be made on a monthly basis for the entire course. And there's also a 10% alumni discount available to our students. And we do offer certain scholarships to students who reside outside UK. So if you're coming from any particular country, so you will be eligible for our partial scholarship, which would be based on the country of origin you're living. At the moment, we are also offering 20% impact scholarship to our certain programs such as Master of Education, MSc Digital Education, MSc Supply Chain and Global Logistics, and MSc Project Management. And also 10% scholarship are available to all our master program, just because of our it's the anniversary, 60-year anniversary. That is why we are offering 10% anniversary scholarship. We also offer 21 money back guarantee. So if you're not happy with the course and if you do wish to withdraw from the course, so there's always an option for you to, like, we do offer 21 money back guarantee if you wish to withdraw and cancel from the course. Next slide, please. So it's very simple. Like, when you're going to make an application, we always recommend student to upload your ID. It could be your passport, your driving license, or national identity card. We also need your CV and your personal statement, which has to be around 300 to 500 words. So explaining a reason why do you wish to study this course, and your obviously and your educational certificates. And if you're applying by a work experience route, then we will send you a reference form, which needs to be completed by your employer and has to be sent via their email address. So that is all the admission process. And if you do have any questions regarding anything, please don't hesitate to contact. Please feel free to ask.
We're just going to engage in a quick Q&A. We've had some really good questions come in before the session and during the session as well, and a few questions that I have as well. I'm going to start with the obvious question when it comes to online, and Luke, I might let you answer this. There will be people that will ask and have asked if they do an LLM in international law, let's say international business law, does it have the same recognition that a face-to-face taught masters would have in LLM? There has been perhaps a myth in the past that if you study an online course, it doesn't have the same standing in certain countries. Is that right? Or can you put that to bed and say, no, it has the exact same accreditation, if you like?
It does, yeah, I can say no to that question. Like I say, I think I said it earlier, that they're all validated by the University of Essex, all of our degrees. So only on the transcript, I believe it says it's online. So in terms of online learning as well, I think that myth of it being online has kind of been put to bed with all the lockdown procedures that we had, and a lot of universities are now looking at blended learning a lot more. So, and you'll see as well with many of our programs, the MBA is AMBER accredited. I think we've got quite a few accreditations on the UG and PG programs. So yeah, if you take a look through the our prospectus and the website, you'll see what programs have certain accreditations. And if we've got that accreditation, it means we've got that accreditation. It doesn't mean it's different because it's online. It's exactly the same for being online or on campus.
Like you say, it is a kind of an old age myth, but you know, people still do think that, you know, gets passes through generations. So Nikhil, if I can come to you on this one of the questions come in is the structure of studying. So obviously, because it's an online course, can they study when they want? Is there a certain time frame that you say you have to have this completed by? Can they do it all? I wouldn't recommend this, by the way, for anyone watching, but can they do all the work on a Monday evening and have the rest of the week to themselves? Or is there a little bit more structure to it?
Yeah, absolutely. So all our courses are completely online and part-time. So students will be studying around 15 to 20 hours per week. There will be some live sessions as well. However, if they can't attend them, they will be also recorded, so which they can access at their convenience time. So because most of our students, they are full-time employees, so we do offer them flexibility to study whenever they want to study. So they can study on weekends, weekdays, during their lunch break, morning time, evening time. It's completely up to them. So yeah, absolutely, they can study.
And how important is that? Because we've noticed from our side, certainly postgrad.com, a shift in the amount of people studying courses of what we would call a stereotypically mature age. And by that, we mean parents, people that are 25 plus. You know, that is becoming more and more popular now, students wanting to enhance their careers and their studies. How important is that to people that are busy, you know, people that have got children, that they can then crack on with their studies whenever they want without having to worry about, you know, how I need to attend this seminar and I need to attend that. Does that have a big bearing on people that apply for your courses?
No. So basically, we have students at all the ages groups. So we do have younger students as well, like 18 plus, 20 plus. We do have like 50 plus, 35 plus as well. So in terms of what do you call the courses we offer, and we offer flexibility to students. So because for mature students, people consider it would be like 30 plus. So because if they work full time, we can understand that they got a busy life and they have to work, they have to earn as well. So they have so our course is designed in a way which is suitable to their needs, and it is very flexible. So they can study on their spare time while they're like, even they're on holiday. They can, if they want to study, look out the quick overview of the module, they can have a look, and they just, because it depends on the student as well. Like for some student, it will take around 10 hours to study one module, or maybe 15 hours. So it based on the scenario. I would recommend, like, it doesn't matter like what age group are you coming from. It will be all the courses designed in a way it will definitely suitable to your needs.
Excellent. And if anyone's got any questions around any of this, Hayley in the background has just shared a link in the chat facility. So anyone that is watching live, please head over to the chat facility and you'll see it there. Caroline, I'm going to come to you next. I just want to talk about the importance of student welfare, making a student feel loved. How, because a lot of people will be watching and saying, how can you get that real human element online, if you like? What kind of communication methods and techniques do the university use to ensure that a student not only feels welcome at a university, but feels like they're part of a team?
Yeah, I think it's another thing that interestingly came as an impact of the pandemic, that's studying and working, connecting with people online in a remote way just became very at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And we're very lucky that the University of Essex Online was already offering those provisions before the pandemic took place. So we're very, very experienced in working with our students on a distance basis. In terms of the communication methods that we have our students can contact us via email, via phone. We do also, in the student support team, have a live chat service as well. So if we do have students with any accessibility needs, don't feel comfortable speaking over the phone, if we just have a really quick question and just want to pop a message to a student support advisor, we do have that live chat service as well. And we've also introduced a call booking scheme as well. So for our students who would like to speak to a member of the university, but don't have that time in their very busy schedule, as they've mentioned, you know, a lot of our students do work full-time and study part-time around a very busy schedule, or are joining us from abroad where the time difference might be a consideration for their accessibility needs as well. Students can submit a call booking form and tell us what day suits them, what time suits them, and what method of communication suits them. So whether that be a Zoom call with a video on, or just a phone call, or if you want an email back, students have that option to request whatever suits them as well, and then their student support team will facilitate that. From a student welfare perspective, our student experience team and our disability support officers contact students and are available to be contacted from enrolment. So it's not something that students would need to suffer with before they could ask for help. That support is readily available and is offered at the point of being enrolled as well. So it's never the case that you need to wait until you've been impacted by an issue or you are struggling with your course and then you are looking for support. That support is made very available to you as you enroll. And as the student support team, it's our responsibility to check in on you. And for our induction students, we will be giving you a call. We will be checking in on you via email, just to make sure that from you being welcomed into the university with all of your new students as well, you feel part of a group, you feel part of a community, and that support will remain consistent all the way right up until graduation, where then it's really lovely if you can attend face-to-face, but also if you can't, we do have an online graduation ceremony as well, so nobody is ever left out.
Excellent. Anu, I want to come to you now. Thank you for the sharing of your screen earlier and talking us through the platform. I thought it was a really engaging part of the webinar, so thank you. I want to talk about the platform itself. How easy is it for a student to use? I understand that a lot of people will have the 6.0 TOEFL score, so you know, or other English language test providers. That means that they're going to understand English. But how simple and easy is it for somebody that isn't technology savvy and isn't particularly confident when it comes to certain modules online to obviously work with? And obviously if they're not confident, how do you go about helping them? I noticed you said you offered the week or two kind of training course and kind of education sector of it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, so we've had lots of student feedback, actually, is what Caroline mentioned, that we gather student feedback at the end of each module, where we've gotten information from students saying the platform is actually really easy to navigate. So I'm very happy about that, because we spend a lot of time thinking about how to structure the modules, how to structure the content so that it is easy to find. So it's easy for students to find all the learning materials and all other content in there in terms of the information about the university and the services we offer as well. So having that positive feedback is very nice. All the modules are structured in the same way. So as I said, once you've gone through your induction, which is also structured the same way, you already know where all the content is, all the different types of content is, your unit content, which equates to a learning week, as opposed to the supportive information, for example, in module resources, and informative information, things like your deadline detail section or information about your tutor. So they're always very clearly labeled and always in the same place. We're also very responsive to student feedback. So if we do get information about links that are broken within the system or something doesn't make quite sense, we're very responsive, and we'll be able to fix those as quickly as we can, usually within 24 hours during the working week when we get notified of that information. I was going to go back to what Nikhil said about the accessibility of the learning content you talked about earlier. None of the learning content is locked. So when students get access to an entire module, they get access to the entire learning content of that module. So that also increases the flexibility of students. So when they learn, so you're not tied to releasing 1 week at the time. You see all the 12 weeks and the entire module content at the same time. So if you want to study ahead, if you want to look ahead, if you want to prepare for your assessments ahead, you can absolutely do that. The other thing I would say about that flexibility is the reading lists that I mentioned in the tour. They're also available to all of our students ahead of time. So again, if you want to look ahead to your next module during a study break, for example, you'll be able to access all of that reading ahead of time and have a look at what's coming up. So we try to build in lots of flexibility in the way into the learning platform and the study materials as well to help students with that flexibility.
Thank you. Nikhil and Luke, I'm going to finish with you two. And I think there's 2 or 3 important points that we've not really mentioned yet that I feel is quite vital. I'm going to start with international students, because people will be watching this and saying, the threshold's a bit lower for the TOEFL score. Sometimes it's 6.5 at universities, whereas you guys are 6.0. You mentioned the kite as well, which is a way of obviously improving the circumstances there. But what is the split like in terms of international students to UK students? Obviously, you've got your Colchester campus, which is based in Essex, which is where they graduate, which is great. But will international students be able to come to the campus and come to the university beforehand, get a feel of it? That was one of the questions that came in. Can they come to the campus? Can they get a feel of the university as a whole, or is it online and then you just come here for the campus and that's it, for the graduation? Sorry, Nikhil, if I can start with you.
Yeah, sure. So unfortunately, because all our courses are completely online and part-time, so they won't be able to come to UK to study, because as a matter of fact, because it's an online institution, so we won't be able to provide them a CAS letter, so they won't be eligible to apply for a visa. in that scenario. However, like if they do wish to come for the graduation ceremony, they can happily do so. But in that scenario, they have to apply for their own visa. It would be, I think, probably it would be like a tourist visa to attend the graduation ceremony, so they can happily do so. But unfortunately, they won't be able to come to UK to study and visit our country.
And talk to me about the kind of split, because Luke, if I open this one to you again, you know, do you have a large cohort of international students, or are the majority of students that you get maybe UK and just European, or do you have a lot of students from outside of Europe?
I mean, it differs year on year, but I think at the moment it's pretty even. It's a pretty even split. For about 50% of our students are in the UK and 50% are international. I mean, we really celebrate that, especially when it comes to working with your peers. And I mean, we all know now, I mean, I was saying in some of the modules, you know, we're in a globalized world. You know, we have to learn to work with different cultures. And it really, you know, the programs really promote that. And, you know, to get that experience from people that are international, that are in other roles across the globe, will really help our students once they've graduated with us, understand those different cultures, understand how they work. And it's good with the assessments as well when it comes to group work. It really does help the students there. In terms of the IELTS score, we do have the welcome week, or we have an induction period as well. So if students, you know, if the tutor feels like the students just aren't ready, there is other programs that we can present to them, or we can say, look, maybe you need to work on your English a little bit more. That does happen from time to time, but that's what that's there for. It's to support the students and make sure that they're ready for the program those 2 weeks, and also make sure from our perspective that they're ready, but also to make sure that they want to take the program, that they're prepared and they're happy with what we provide.
Excellent. And guys, I want to finish on, I don't know whether Luke or Nikhil, this is best for one of you two, your intake dates, when a student could sign up, because obviously the norm for a face-to-face talk masters would be, when's your intake dates? They're very typically September, October, then January. They're mainly the two intake dates. Can a student apply whenever they want and therefore start whenever they want? Or is it a bit more structured than that? They apply now and they start in September or January?
So we have several intakes throughout the year. So basically, if you wish to start for September intake, you can certainly do so, but today is the enrollment deadline. So we would recommend to apply for October intake. And after that, the next intake would be in January. So our October intake is the last intake for this year. But as I said earlier, like we have several intake throughout the year. They can make application for any intake. They do have an option to click on the box like they wish to start in October or May or April. It's completely up to them.
Excellent. Okay, guys, I'm just conscious of time, so we will have one more question, final one, because it's just come in. That's around funding and scholarships. You've been through a page already. I'll try and bring it up on the screen now about what offers you have. You know, you mentioned the 5% if you buy up front and purchase up front rather than a monthly installment plan. Do you work with any external third-party scholarship providers that will mean they can, you know, get the help that they require?
Unfortunately, we don't. So regarding scholarship, we do offer a certain scholarship, which we call partial scholarship to international students. So most of the students who reside in Africa, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Ghana, or Middle Eastern countries, so they are eligible for certain scholarship. But for UK students, unfortunately, we don't offer any scholarship. At the moment, as I said, we are offering 10% anniversary scholarship to all our master programs, so everyone will be eligible for that scholarship. And for 20% impact scholarship is only for certain programs such as Master of Education, Supply Chain Management, Global Logistics, Project Management, Digital Education, which is a total brand new course. So, an alumni discount if a student has completed an undergraduate degree from University of Essex, so he will be eligible for a 10% alumni discount as well.
Excellent. Important to point out before we wrap up the 21-day money back guarantee as well, because that is almost a try before you buy, which is a wonderful thing to offer, and that universities don't typically offer. So that's excellent. Luke, Nikhil, Caroline, Anu, thanks for your time, and Hayley in the background as well. It's been an engaging session. Obviously, hopefully we can do this again at some point next year with your updated courses and a new year and new ambitions. But for now, a huge thank you to all involved, a huge thank you to the audience for watching and participating, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.